bullying prevention for a number of years. I work with a student assistance program that also focuses on suicide prevention, drug prevention, bullying prevention, pretty much all youth at risk behavior. Cyberbullying is a relatively new phenomenon, but as we're learning more about it, we're seeing that there really are a lot of similarities between cyberbullying and traditional bullying, but there are also some distinctive features to cyberbullying. But I think we need to really look at what we know to be effective in dealing with traditional bullying and see how we can apply that to dealing with the issues of cyberbullying. I think with cyberbullying, we have the problem that it can intensify and escalate some forms of bullying. And there's still a lot about cyberbullying we don't know for sure. What are the roles of bystanders in cyberbullying? We know that's a really important issue with traditional bullying. How does it look with cyberbullying? What are the forms of cyberbullying that have more challenging effects on youth, and where is it perhaps less of an issue than traditional bullying? So there's just still a lot of areas we need to look at with cyberbullying. I think we need to look at what has been effective in dealing with traditional bullying, school-wide approaches to address bullying where we get everyone involved seem to have the most promise for reducing traditional bullying. And so we need to look at, okay, how do we apply that to cyberbullying, knowing that it often happens away from school, and yet it has an impact on the school day and on campus. So what are the ways that we infuse it during the school day? So making sure that we spend class time talking about, just as we talk about traditional bullying and relationships with one another, we need to bring in the way that kids are socializing online and start talking about what are some guidelines and rules of the road for that? What are things kids can do to protect themselves and use technology wisely? And we also really need to make sure that the schools and parents are working together to give consistent messages, because the issue with cyberbullying is it often takes place away from the eyes of adults. And so, we need to make sure that the adults are giving consistent messages, but we also need to make sure youth know what to do when they see it occurring and how to help one another when cyberbullying occurs. I think if they are cyberbullied, the most important thing is to let someone know. And we know that the research shows that kids who feel like they've been listened to and have support, that seems to be helpful for them with dealing with bullying. And we also know that a lot of kids are reluctant to tell when they experience cyberbullying. So we need to make sure that we're talking to them about who they can go to and how to speak up. The other thing that's really important for kids to know is that youth who harass others online or treat others aggressively increase their risk for victimization. So it's really a protective factor to treat each other well when we're socializing online. That's one of the best ways you can prevent yourself from being cyberbullied is to treat others with respect online, and kids need to get that message. With traditional bullying, there is that we've often heard that kids are afraid that adults will overreact, and some of that we hear with cyberbullying too. Sometimes with cyberbullying, they think, well, a lot of this is happening off campus. What can the adults do to help? So they don't always see us as resources to help them. They often fear retaliation, so that can get in the way of telling. And then one issue that comes up with cyberbullying that is a little different from traditional bullying is that kids are fearful that they may be cut off from technology if they start to share that they're having problems online. So the parents or guardians may say, well, that's it, you don't need to have a social networking site. And that's how kids socialize, so they don't want to run that risk.